Hello, YouTube. Thanks for coming over to the Everyday Prepper channel. Today's topic is hygiene on the homesteading series. When I think about being clean, I think about having soap. Soap making is a great skill to have, especially if you're forced to stay in your homestead for an extended amount of time. If you're not into making soap, or if you don't have any interest on even learning how to do it, you may want to store up a lot of bar soap, a lot of liquid soap, maybe even alcohol-based soap, like hand sanitizers, and maybe like baby wipes. Some of these things don't last forever, though, so you may want to put them in a rotation, and maybe like every 6 months to a year, go through them and just see which ones need to be used next. Now, we also have another category of soap. It's natural soaps. They're made from saponids, SAPONINS, and this includes various types of plants. It seems like a lot of them actually, the root system is where you'd want to use it from. So we have mountain lilacs. There's actually a plant called soap root, believe it or not, and that's a really good source to make natural soaps. Hollyberry. We also have types of pines. They call it typically mountain pine soaps. And the yucca root, that makes a really good soap. Buffalo gourds, and that's just a few examples. Now, don't also forget to have your hand towels and also larger towels like bath towels. You definitely want to have a lot of extra fresh water stored just for hygiene, not just for drinking, but just for hygiene as well, because you're going to need to wash dishes and wash yourself. And if there's a situation, someone gets injured, you want fresh water. So that's going to be important. You want to have scrub brushes and other means to get in there and clean surfaces, especially the floors and different counters and tables. You also want a wash basin. That's very important to wash clothes and also dishes, as well as maybe other things, maybe body parts, or maybe if you have an infant, to bathe them in a more efficient way in a basin. And also, of course, a means to wash clothes. And we're not going to be probably using our washer and dryer here, so we need non-electrical options. And there's quite a few out there if you look. I own a few myself. We also need to have good habits, hygiene habits, keeping our hands away from our face. Do not touch our face unless we really have to, because a lot of things on our hands are not what you would consider really good for us. There's all kind of bacteria and God knows what else. What about dental hygiene? Big one. Now, there's a lot of controversy about flossing. If you look into it, not all dentists actually think it's the best thing. But you have to make that decision. But you should at least brush your teeth and keep a good, eye on your dental health. Now, should you use alcohol-based mouthwash? All the studies say that it dries your mouth out, and it's not the best way to really keep your mouth clean. So just kind of be aware of all these things, because everybody pushes things like fluoride, which is bad for you. Dental floss probably is a little bit less ideal, less than ideal for your teeth and your gums, because it can reintroduce bacteria in places that it wasn't. And then you have, of course, sometimes people overbrush, and tear up the enamel of their teeth, and then of course the actual mouthwash, which dries your mouth out and gives you bad breath. So so we might want to check into that further about how do you feel like from what you can research about what is the best option for you for dental health. The next thing is keeping the house orderly and clean. Sometimes, as you can see, my house is just crazy. I got tools everywhere. I'm always doing projects. I got the Dremel out right now. And so it's really a good thing, because having an orderly and clean house is a good form of mental hygiene. And so the more that you can actually reduce your clutter, which I need to start practicing that more. If you can reduce it, you decrease your anxiety and stress. And when you do that, you can increase your performance levels and your morale. You can even make better decisions according to various scientific experiments and studies on this matter. You can actually increase your overall capabilities by being just more organized. And so that's cool. And so there's even other studies that say that a clean house and a body increases self-esteem, and increases your inner drive to be more motivated as well. So that's very cool. Now, what about portable toilets? This is a big thing. Not everybody's going to have an outhouse, obviously. And so you're going to probably need to have a shovel so you can dig a latrine from time to time and use a 5-gallon bucket with various options, whatever you have. Maybe it's sawdust, kitty litter, sand and charcoal, and there's many, many other ways. And you probably would want to keep all that in a bag, have multiple bags in whatever the container is that you're using as a toilet. So that's an option. If, maybe your toilet can still be used, but you may have to use a lot of valuable, precious water to create the pressure to flush the toilet. So that's optional unless you have like a lot of water, like you live on a river or on a massive lake. I probably wouldn't use that option. So what about garbage? This is a really big problem for a lot of preppers. Some people burn their garbage, which is kind of a mixed bag right there, because some of this garbage that we use has a lot of toxins that can go in the air. But I think that probably put them all in garbage bags. Trying to minimize your garbage to begin with is good. I'd probably, especially if you know that it's a temporary situation, then you can probably unbury it and maybe get rid of it. Maybe just make a berm, put it all in a big berm. Or if it's safe to burn, then burn it. But that's up to you. There's lots of different ways to deal with that. Some people actually have stainless steel burn containers. They're like big, kind of like containers that have like various types of cross-sectioned steel. It almost looks like a grate, and they put all their garbage in there and burn it, and they have good success with that. And so just like your garbage, you'd probably want to keep it away from the home. Same thing with body types of waste, like bodily waste, like excrement and stuff like that. You'd probably want to dig the latrine far away from the house and away from your gardens as well. So anyways, this is my thoughts on hygiene. If you have any further thoughts on hygiene, I know that I'm probably not hitting every point here. But this is just a primer video for this as part of our series. That would be great in the comment section. Thanks for all your support. You guys take care.